Before we begin, thank you very much to Noah for joining the Patreon campaign over at patreon.com/TJOmega. I keep saying it, I keep meaning it. Thank you guys very much for the support. It allows me to keep doing this. It keeps allowing the daily content to continue. So if you enjoy it, please consider chipping in. If not, hit like, hit subscribe, share the video. That helps me a lot too. It's really like channels like this thrive on people who are willing to just hit a few buttons for us. So thank you very much for doing it. All right, daily video number 391. The streak continues. And Hasbro gave me something a little bit interesting to talk about. Now, you're looking at something that is not interesting, not conceptually. It is Tonkanator. And when this collaborative figure was revealed, everyone kind of just went, wait. Because it's a weird idea. For starters, it's not really collaborative. Hasbro owns Tonka. All they did was reissue Devastator in yellow and black and print a logo on it. That's pretty much all that's going on here. It's not the most interesting thing in the world. But all the pre-orders for it sold out, so what do I know? Okay. But the thing about this is it kind of broke a rule. It kind of broke this unwritten rule that there is somehow something sacred to G1 reissues, and they have to be done certain ways. It's very, very rare when they do something different with a G1 mold. Once in a while, you might see like a black repaint, or like a more cartoon accurate deco, but nothing too far off from the original toy. But Hasbro just did something that's actually very, very interesting. Because this broke the rules and got away with it, we are now kind of acknowledging that you can do more with a G1 mold than simply reissue it. So, what am I talking about? Well, Walmart's Collector Con dropped a few new toys. Like, we just got done with Pulse Con, and now we have Collector Con, where even more new Transformers were revealed, and it's not enough for me to do like a whole news video on them, so I gotta wrap it up in a topic somehow. We're going to be talking about the new G1 reissues that Walmart is doing. First off, packaging. They claim that it is retro style packaging, and like, no. No, it is not. There is no artwork from the 80s that looked that good on package art. It just did not happen. The only thing retro about it is we have the old school Transformers movie logo and the original Hasbro logo from the 80s. Okay, cool. All right, so that's about as close as we're going to get. The box does look lovely. I will give it that. It is an absolutely, lovely depiction of Starscream and the Battle of Autobot City, Lookout Mountains in the background, etc. So, yay. The only thing retro about it, though, is the shape of the box. Let's be honest here. But the box is inconsequential. What's interesting is what's inside, because what's inside is a completely different style of reissue where Hasbro's just kind of decided to, for the first time that I can ever think of, completely forget about trying to recreate the original toy. The stickers are gone. The accurate colorations are gone. All that is left is a fully painted G1 figure that is trying very hard to emulate the look of the cartoon. So we have cartoon accurate paint jobs going on G1 figures now, which is actually a really cool thing. Now, I could have sworn we had things like this, and there's tons of reissues of Starscream out there. There's some that vary the shades of blue, but none went to this extreme, to completely strip all of the stickers, go to tampagraphs and paint for literally everything. And I had to go and double check the cartoon details just to make sure. Yes, the two stripes across the chest, that's correct. The intakes, that are just like below his kneecaps, that is correct. Little gray spots on the tops of his feet, that's correct. And of course, the most standout feature is the fact that his entire head is his familiar like ash gray color, including the vents along the side of his head, which I don't believe any reissue has bothered repainting to match his head. it's a pretty interesting thing, you know, and it doesn't look too bad either. Now, I don't think it looks like terribly different from your standard Starscream reissues. I got the last Walmart Starscream reissue, and like looking back at it on my shelf and then looking at this, there really isn't that much different going on because it's, you know, it's just Starscream, but you know, it looks nice, and the jet mode looks really nice. I like the attempt. I like the idea of coming up with a way of like putting a modern process on an old toy in order to create something a little bit more unique. So it's not just another Starscream reissue, there's another twist to it. But that's not even the interesting one out of the batch, good as this looks. Oh, by the way, the nose cone is also not black anymore. We changed that too. So there's a lot different. There's a lot different. All right, so not only like that, like it's the other one. It's the other one that's interesting to me. They let Hot Rod be pink. So, we saw in one of the Hasbro behind the scenes things that when it came down to redoing Hot Rod for like either like a rerun of Studio Series or putting him in Velocitron, they wanted to originally, well, actually no, like I take all this back. It was for his initial release in Studio Series, and the debate was, do we make him animation accurate and make him magenta, or do we make it, or like, you know, because the artist wanted to do that. The artist wanted to make it match the cartoon as much as possible. Hasbro execs, someone higher up, said, no, Hot Rod is officially a red character based on the toy. You make the character red. So 86 Hot Rod, even in his second release as part of Velocitron, does not get to be movie accurate magenta. But here it is. Here it is. We actually have G1 Hot Rod in a completely accurate matching color scheme to his original depiction. It's kind of amazing. And what I love about it is it's not just the fact that it's magenta, it's the how much effort went into recreating Hot Rod as much as they could with the original toy. You see where the orange continues down onto his lower legs and the sculpting on there. The boots have been completely painted over in gray. His chest, like the flame deco being tamper-graphed on and being animation accurate. I don't like the look of that foil sticker on matte plastic. That doesn't work to me. Doesn't look right in my eyes. So to actually get this, where everything is consistent, is actually a really interesting look for me. And yes, that includes the fact that the chrome is also gone too. Definitely never saw a reissue do that. Hasbro in the past has stated like, yeah, chrome is expensive to do, and the process is not as easy to do anymore, etc., etc., etc. We know the chrome quality has been hit and miss over the years, so best not to even try. So instead, it's all, like the entire toy is just matte plastic, and I think that looks really good. Oh, aside from the feet. The feet, for some reason, are the original die-cast feet, and they're completely unpainted, which I think looks really weird. I think it looks like Hot Rod just like walked out and forgot his shoes. He's just wearing his socks. I would hope that they'd paint those gray before the final release, or maybe this is like a pre-production that didn't paint them. But like either way, it looks odd. But the rest of it, I think, actually looks fascinating. And then if we look at the vehicle mode, I think it looks really, really good. It definitely strikes me as animation Hot Rod, which is something I have not really been able to say about most every Hot Rod toy. Maybe the Masterpiece, but even the Masterpiece has its issues that keep me from like going, ooh, I'm excited for this Hot Rod toy. He looks really good. He looks interesting. Let's say that. He looks so different. Here, they did a side-by-side. You can just see, it's like, it's so different. Just like the way they painted it and the way they like selected out certain parts of him. Like the collar is now orange, like in the cartoon, instead of the red, so it doesn't like break through that torso piece. The forearms have the correct paint on them. The forearms have been painted. The little gaps inside his top of his shoulders have been painted. Everything they could possibly do to make it match, matches. I think that's fascinating. I think that opens up an entire world of things we could do with repaints now. If like this is the future of like Walmart G1 reissues, which apparently the last batch sold well enough that they were willing to take on another batch of them, especially considering there are two that they've already done. I think it says a lot about where they could go with this. So let's just like quickly look at like a wish list, shall we? Just kind of like, who would we want? Who do we want to actually see the light of day in this if this continues? And my thoughts first went to Jazz, because I'm looking at Jazz and I see so much heavy sticker detailing on Jazz that I would love to see the consistency again, like between the chrome being removed and the stickers being removed, and then just like tampograph replicating his original like cartoon deco, especially in the face, because I would love to actually get a Jazz who has the blue visor, so I could actually tell his visor from the rest of his head. I think that would be a good step. That'd be a good step, and it's one of those reissues that had new tooling done to it to fix this like screwed up face you see here. So it's one that I'm sure they're willing to reuse should an opportunity arise. I think this is a pretty good opportunity for that to happen. If we're looking at the rest of the potentials, Prowl also comes to mind as someone who is heavily stickered that I would love to see that simplification to. Just, I don't know, like it's more or less like it would be curious to see, because the differences should be stark enough for me to see both and go, that looks interesting, that looks cool. I will admit, no one really has a color shift quite like Hot Rod. The red to magenta is a pretty drastic shift. It doesn't seem like it, but when you see them side by side, it definitely is. So I'm kind of picking at straws here, but you know what? There are some. Soundwave came to mind huge. The shade of blue is fine. Maybe flat blue, but yeah, it's just blue. But what comes to mind is the gray, the metallic gray of the forearms and thighs, and the front side of the tape deck mode, and then the chest itself. Instead of being this black, it would be this like opaque light blue. It would look drastically different to redo this toy with the white shades and the light blue chest of the original cartoon. And again, Soundwave is one of those they love to reissue because every Soundwave sells. So a Soundwave that also kind of vaguely reminds you of the original design and character is again going to do well, I would assume. I'd even go one step further, give you like an optional sticker to cover up the outside rim, and then like sticker in a brand new one inside so it looks like his chest is smaller and more aligned to what it looked like in the cartoon. Just me. Like, I could absolutely see them doing this as an 80s, as a like movie retro reissue, repaint, whatever. Especially because it's one of those molds that was completely remade because Hasbro knew it would be worth it to do. But that also brings to mind others. Hound has reissues, but it's not had a modern American reissue since the original commemorative line. Now, to be fair, while I would like to see a new iteration of Hound with grays instead of black, a lighter shade of green to maybe match his colors in the show a little bit more, realistically, this is going to be a retro movie line to go along with Hot Rod and Starscream, who were prominent in the movie. Hound was not. Hound is a cameo appearance. I bring him up only because I think the color shift would be interesting, and because the reissue hasn't been done. So let's stick more to the movie cast, and we'll try and figure out some for that. How about Cup? Because Cup has been reissued, so the mold still exists, it's still usable, but Cup has always been produced in these super bright shades of blue and teal, which is not what he looks like in the cartoon at all. Like, I would love to see this toy redone, and like, I wouldn't even need to see like the cracks like painted onto his chest window or anything, but just the fact that like I've never seen this toy done up in its like dingy green, like super faded colors like he has in the movie. Prime choice for this if they continue it. How about someone we haven't seen is Blur. We have no idea if this mold is even in existence. It's not one that's actually been reissued. And we have not had any word about whether or not the mold is even viable anymore or not, or if they even know where it is. But it's another one of those characters where he doesn't, the toy is missing its white colors, and The blues are not nearly as contrasting as they are in the show. And something about like the teal face is always kind of putting me off a little bit on this blur. So I would not mind in the least if we got this one again, if it's possible. Now, that is one of the sticking points, is we don't know what molds exactly are still available. It's just like luck that Cup still exists somewhere. We have not heard a thing about Blur. But there are times where Hasbro is willing to reissue and redo a mold from the ground up by reverse engineering the existing toy in order to create the mold again. But it has to be worth the money to them, so it has to be a big deal character. So unfortunately, that probably wouldn't be Blur. It would be Grimlock, though. We know the Dinobots are lost. We know the Dinobots are no longer viable molds, or either the molds are destroyed or lost. One or the other. Either way, they can't make them. But Dinobots always sell. And Grimlock, especially, always sells. So if you give us this mold redone from the ground up for this retro repaint line, and you do away with, like, you give him, like, you do away with the chrome chest and just give him, like, flat yellow. You do away with this metallic gray and you give him the flat gray, the animation. You give him, like, the blue eyes, and then you take out that translucent window in the chest that nobody likes. Okay, some people like it. I don't. You'd, again, create an extremely different look, an extremely different take on the original Grimlock, and I think it would actually be interesting. I think it would look interesting. So again, I think it would be worth it. And then, like, later down the line, they're gonna, they'll do the standard toy colors. They might do a G2 version. They would get plenty of uses out of a reissued Grimlock if they so choose. And that opens the door to other Dinobots. Because, hey, G1 Swoop in blue, hello, please. That opens up a few other obvious choices. Rodimus Prime's been reissued, so obviously, like, he would be on the table as well. It's not the most exciting toy, admittedly, but you know what? It exists. It's a thing. They could. But I think it leads to a far more interesting choice that has been reissued. We know the mold exists, and that would be Galvatron. I would be down for this. Now, Takara has in the past done a purple Galvatron from the original mold. I've never been happy with it. Not only because I think it's a lackluster attempt to recreate an animation look on Galvatron, but also it's more like lilac purple. It's a very light shade of purple as opposed to the dark tones that he had in the movie. I would love a dark purple Galvatron out of this mold. And you know what? He's already got an orange barrel, so I think it'd get through any safety laws if they're worried about releasing it in the US. I mean, it's that or just take off the trigger. Like, there is no gun mode. What are you people talking about? It doesn't turn into a gun. It's a cannon. Completely different. But that's just my quick wish list if this becomes a thing. More to the point, like, this is just, like, fascinating to me. The fact that they actually went and redid the G1 toys to be more accurate than they originally were. It's such a simple concept, but it's been done so very rarely, and I would love to see it continue. And judging by the fact they sold out so fast on Pulse, I'm reasonably sure that this is not an idea that's going away, and I hope it doesn't, because there are possibilities. There are possibilities. So, thank you for joining me. Leave in the comments below. Who did I forget? Who would you like to see reissued in, like, a more proper G1 style colors, like cartoon accurate colors? Because obviously there's a ton to choose from, and I can't list them all here. But let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.